Ravi, a diligent delivery boy, takes a late-night order from an obscure address deep in the old part of town, where no one dares to go after dark. The house is known for its tragic history, a family that vanished without a trace, leaving their meals untouched on the table. Locals believe the house calls out to people. Despite the warnings, Ravi rides to the location, thinking the good tip is worth the risk. The house is cold and lifeless, with the door eerily ajar. As he steps in, he's greeted by silence, but it doesn't last. Whispers drift through the halls. Furniture creaks on its own. Ravi tries to leave, but his phone dies and his scooter won't start. Then he hears the unmistakable sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, following him room by room. Frantic, he discovers that every exit has mysteriously disappeared. Ravi realizes he's not alone. The family who vanished never truly left, and they've been waiting for someone to replace them. The chilling twist: when morning comes, a new delivery boy receives an order for the same house, and Ravi's name appears on the receipt. Karen, a young delivery rider, is making his last delivery for the night when his GPS fails. The order takes him to an old unlit highway. Thinking he's lost, he stops his bike to check his phone. That's when he notices a shadow, human-like but distorted, moving in his rearview mirror. Panicked, he accelerates, but the shadow begins to chase him on foot, keeping pace despite his increasing speed. It whispers his name, the voice cold and haunting, as if coming from inside his helmet. Desperately trying to escape, Karen turns off the highway and finds himself in a village where no one answers his calls for help. The people seem off. An old man warns him to leave immediately, but before Karen can, his bike mysteriously shuts off. Alone in the darkness, Karen realizes the shadow was never outside. It was inside him all along. The highway has a curse. Every rider it claims never comes back, becoming part of the road's eternal nightmare. The story ends with Karen's delivery company receiving a new complaint. The rider disappeared. The food is still warm. Shyam, an experienced delivery boy, receives a generous tip for delivering food to an address that doesn't appear on maps. The location turns out to be an enormous, decrepit colonial mansion hidden by overgrown trees. Though all the lights are off, the door creaks open as if expecting him. Inside, Shyam notices the eerie silence broken only by faint footsteps coming from the upper floors. Desperate to complete his job and leave, he calls out to announce the delivery. Instead of a response, the footsteps get louder, and now they seem to come from all directions. As Shyam tries to escape, the house locks him inside, revealing portraits of people, delivery workers just like him, frozen in terror. Shyam discovers he's been lured into a trap. The house feeds on the souls of those who enter, and every meal order is just bait. The horrifying twist: as the camera zooms out, we see a new photo added to the wall, Shyam's terrified face immortalized forever. Vivek, a tired delivery boy, keeps receiving orders addressed to the cemetery at midnight. Assuming it's a prank, he initially ignores the requests. But one night, curiosity gets the better of him, and he decides to deliver the food to the location. At the graveyard gates, a frail old man meets him, paying cash and warning him not to look back as he leaves. But Vivek, unable to resist, glances back and sees figures, pale and ghostly, emerging from graves, their hollow eyes fixed on him. The next night, Vivek receives the same order, but this time the old man is gone. Instead, the figures are closer. As the days progress, the spirits begin to follow him home, whispering in his ear and leaving handprints on his windows. Vivek learns that the spirits belong to delivery riders who failed to complete the order in the past. The shocking twist: Vivek disappears one night, and the next delivery boy starts receiving the same midnight order. Rohan, a delivery worker, gets frequent orders from a particular apartment. The instructions are always the same. Leave the food at the door and leave quickly. But one evening, curiosity gets the better of him. He lingers outside the apartment and knocks. The lights flicker, the door creaks slightly open, and Rohan sees someone inside, a figure sitting perfectly still in a chair, watching the TV with its back turned to him. Alarmed, he leaves. The next time he delivers there, he hears faint cries for help coming from inside. Determined to uncover the truth, Rohan sneaks into the apartment and finds it empty, except for a dusty TV that switches on by itself. The figure on the screen resembles Rohan. Suddenly, the door slams shut and Rohan vanishes. The building's landlord reveals the chilling truth. The apartment has been empty for years, yet food orders continue. The horrifying ending: a new delivery worker receives an order for the same apartment, and the figure on the TV screen is now Rohan.